Shalom, Yashrala. This is your brother Dawud Daw from GMS Tampa Bay #07, coming at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, I can push this truth with sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. All right. I want to go into this here news article. As we're in the year 2018, which through the spirit of Apostle Tahar named this the year of prophecy. All right. And it's pretty much like every day you just, look through the news headlines and, you have multiple of these prophecies coming to pass. All right. So I'm going to read this here article from RT. It says trade war, chickens home to roost, billions of pounds of meat fill U.S. warehouses with nowhere to go. All right. It says more than 2.5 billion pounds of meat and poultry produced by U.S. farmers have been stockpiled in cold storage warehouses, with the amount expected to grow further according to the latest federal data. All right. Now, not too long ago, I put up a couple videos, pretty much going through the downfall of Esau. It was a series of videos. But nevertheless, one of the videos that was in the series was about Esau committing suicide, at an alarming rate, and then and one of the articles I pulled out focused mainly on just farmers. All right. Now this had been going on for a couple years, but it's getting to a point now where it's just like, off the scale, it's at an alarming rate, but that wasn't even taking into account the things that's going on right here today. All right. So as we continue on to read, just putting that out there just to see, that Esau's going to start further killing himself even more, Like I said, if you refer back to that video and you see why he's stressed out, and the article was mainly focused on farmers, you would understand why. And this here article is going to further highlight that, But it says record production of beef, poultry, pork, poultry, turkey has become increasingly dependent on exports as U.S. consumers cannot buy up the huge amount of meat. So let me go back a little bit. It says record production. All right, so we're gonna just focus on record production. It's kind of funny how Esau always put this record production and this and that. Well, when you understand business, okay, the core of all business is making a profit for the shareholders. All right, so every year has to be basically record breaking numbers. You have to, that's how you have a so-called successful business. Not if you're actually profiting or not, nothing like that, but if your shareholders are actually making a profit. All right. So it says record production of beef, pork, poultry, and turkey has become increasingly dependent on exports as U.S. consumers cannot buy up the huge amount of meat. And also in another video, I went into about the trade war with China. I went into the, basically how, also bringing out that America was Babylon the Great, that America basically imports so much stuff from China, all right, that all the other countries combined couldn't compete, basically couldn't replace America, all right, and vice versa. America imports so much stuff from China that all the other countries alone or together couldn't replace China. It wouldn't be a sufficient replacement, but and what they're saying here is, America's exporting all this here meat out, and it's saying basically here that the American people can't, the American people, they can't consume enough of this meat, they wouldn't be able to buy up, to replace the, the portion that was being exported. All right. So, America has this a stockpile full of meat just sitting around. All right. It says, that would drive down the prices for American consumers, restaurants, and retailers. However, so hold on about that part. We're gonna touch on that in the scriptures. Yeah, the meat's gonna be extremely cheap here for a while. Because they have an overabundance of it. They have way more. Like the article here is saying that America export way more meat, than it actually consumes here as the Americans. All right. The Americans don't consume nowhere near as much as they export. So the meat that's produced here, the majority of it is being exported. And now, they already have all the cows, the chickens, and so on and so forth, the pigs and the turkeys. They already have all these, because you're not just getting these things every day. You got to, raise them and then get them, till they get to the right size and everything and whatnot, so it takes time. All right. So they already have these things already in production, and they Next year they're on the scale to go, higher and higher, higher up with profits, record breaking. All right. So as you can see, if you just look down the track, you can already see what this is going to cause. Yeah, for the American people, for a while, it's going to be real good for so-called the me, you, the him, the hers, the us. It's going to be good for us for a moment because meat going to be extremely cheap. All right. But then it's going to be a backlash effect. These companies are going to start losing out big time. So then they're going to start shutting down, and, it's going to be a ripple effect. Things are going, just in a so-called carnal sense of a way, this is a big, a ripple or a big bubble that just popped in a chain. Yeah, you haven't quite, it's like a tsunami wave, Yeah, when the water all draws back or you see a small wave, that's just the beginning of it, Everything is called like all good and cool, calm and collective at this point in time. But wait till you see that big, all the water's going out. But wait till you see it when it all comes back in. It's going to be devastating. All right. It says that would drive down the prices for American consumers, restaurants and retailers. However, the recent import tariff imposed by the country's trade partners on a wide range of U.S. goods, including agricultural produce, have slowed down sales of U.S. meat and poultry abroad. Earlier this year, China and Mexico, the largest foreign buyers of U.S. meat, taxed American pork products in response to tariffs imposed by the White House on steel, aluminum, and more other goods. All through the spirit, that's good. They put a tax on their pork industry, you know what I'm saying? Shut their pork industry down. That's an abomination to be feeding our people that anyway. Not saying that they're exporting it to us, but, hey, they shouldn't have been feeding us that, all through the spirit that they pork industry going down. These curses starting to fall upon them now. But it also says that China and Mexico are their largest foreign buyers, but China's directly, aimed at with this here, this trade war, It says the measures made prices for U.S. ham, chops, and livers in those markets shoot upwards, reports in the Wall Street Journal. We've got too much capacity built in this industry if we're not going to be exporting more product, Ken Mashoff, the chairman of Illinois-based hog farming company, Mashoff told the media. All right, so basically they're already predicting that, you know what I'm saying? This is just a, not really a bubble, but it's more or less like that tsunami. All right, all the water is starting to recede at this point in time, and these people, the people inside the actual farming industry and those industries, they actually see this. They're like, yo, we got so much stuff that's like on stock right now. We got so much stuff in production already. All right. Because they're, how do I say, their item or whatever they're in business trying to sell is something that takes time to, not incubate, but to like, you have to bring it through a couple stages. It's just not like, you go to some factories and you just make like a box right then and there, something like that, It's not like that. These, you got cows that, you got to, first of all, breed the cows, raise the cows up, feed the cows, and so on and so forth, And so in that whole process, that's not just like a 5-minute process, So you're going to have cows, this year's cows, next year's cows, and the next year's cows, so on and so forth, already in rotation. So you just keep going, all right? But that's going to just put a big roadblock in that whole process, It's going to disrupt that whole process. It says, the businessman stressed that the company was considering expansion into a less geopolitical charged regions such as Eastern Europe, Southern America. The U.S. Department of Agriculture expects U.S. meat industry to produce a record 102.7 billion pounds of meat in 2018. Plunging, see, like I said, they, every year they got to keep beating the last year's, numbers because that's their whole purpose in any business, to make a profit for the shareholders. So, that's just showing Esau and his greed. All right. All these curses coming upon them now. It says plunging exports along with increasing domestic stockpile puts at risk profits for the U.S. meat processors, as well as price for livestock and poultry producers. Lean hog futures at Chicago Merchant Exchange have reportedly dropped 14% since the end of May. All right. So they're already looking at down the road and seeing that, this ain't going to be good for business. It's not good for, longevity. I don't know how long this is going to be able to sustain, a profitable business, Next year, yeah, we on a roll to produce more and more meat. The more and more meat they have, that means the more and more meat they're going to be throwing away, basically, or just selling for, how do you say, a loss, It says trade risk and increasing meat supplies may lead to one of the biggest corrections we've seen in the industry in several years, said Christine McCracken, protein analyst at Rabobank, as quoted by the media. So basically, they say they have the biggest correction. All right, they use that word sometimes when, you know what I'm saying, they basically gonna have to fudge the numbers, fudge the markets, or so-called pay these people off, or make sure their people are paid off. And it's like taking a loss, but they're not gonna really actually take a loss. They're gonna take a loss in public, but as far as money-wise, they're not gonna actually take a loss. So I wanted to bring out this here scripture because, like I said, and like that article said that basically the food gonna be real cheap here for a while. So the everyday people here, they're gonna just they're gonna be happy and like, oh, everything is all good. Oh, meat extra cheap, steak extra cheap, and everything else, so on and so forth. So it's gonna be good for the so-called me, the you, the him, the her, the regular so-called American consumer here in America. All right, but it's not such a good thing, because down the road, you know what I'm saying, is basically death and destruction. All right, we're gonna read it out of scripture. I'm going to start here at 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand and fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right. So basically, this is as we read in Matthew chapter 24. All right, about the wars and rumors of war and the famines and so on and so forth. All right. So it says, "Behold, a famine and plagues and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for an addendum or amendment." Salakia. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right, so and all these calamities that's already befallen on America, people ain't really mindful of the things that's going on around them. All right, you got trade wars, stock market, going crazy. You got actual war, Russia, North Korea, so on and so forth, things like that. You got the state of Israel being a damn complete devil. You got all kind of crazy shit going on. All right, all over throughout the whole world and nationally, locally. All over the place, all kind of crazy shit going on, but people just don't have their eyes open to see. All right, they don't see that all the volcanoes are erupting, all the damn earthquakes going off, all these people just going crazy, people committing suicide on just massive scales, people just overdosing on massive scales, just everything going crazy. You got wars, all kind of crazy shit, but people don't see all that. All right, so and this speaking about the time that we in right now as we speak. It says, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, so shit gonna be super cheap over here at some point in time. Things, things not so cheap right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like they say when they say peace, then comes sudden destruction. So things is bad right now, but there's gonna be a time where things are gonna actually so-called get good real briefly, and then, you know what I'm saying, because like as we was just reading, things was kind of bad and they don't realize the signs that was going on around them. But then, you know what I'm saying, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap, the people shall think themselves to be in a good case. So on a surface level, things gonna be seeming like, oh shit, everything is good, ain't no better time than this, everything all good, we got the cheapest shit. And like we was reading an article, look, meat all extra cheap, everybody getting the top dollar steak. We all going out, you know what I'm saying? Or we just buying up, racking up on steak or whatever, whatnot, because it's about to be super cheap, Everybody think everything is going to be all good, but then, all of a sudden things just going to hit them with the wham, out of nowhere. It says, they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, as we see happening already, sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, people still lost in all of this. All right, and even when victuals start being more cheap, people gonna be more laxed. They ain't gonna want to hear about all the the truth that's coming out. They're gonna be like, oh no, the shit's straight right now. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, the city shall be cast down, and there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. All right. And so basically, it goes further down into it, but, basically that's just like the scenario that we're coming into, right? All right. We're coming into that, things is kind of bad, the beginning of sorrows is already popping off. The world's already in chaos right now, but the regular everyday people, they don't see that, but then all of a sudden there's going to be something that start to happen, you know what I'm saying? And then, just, looking through the spirit, looking at that news article, with the trade war and things going on, that's leaving these American exporters, stockpile full of meat, So they ain't got no choice but to sit here and try to sell it here in America, all right? They're going to just try to sit here and sell it here in America, but they're going to sell it for basically a loss, all right, at real cheap prices just so it don't go bad, all right? So, we about to start coming into those, we already in them times, Salaki. We got to, refrain from saying we coming into those times. We living in those times, all right? We're living in those times where, these prophecies are popping up every day. All right, where we watching, we seeing these things come to pass. All right, and now we basically just getting led right up to the door. All right, and so we have to be mindful and keep our eye open on these things that's happening all around us. We don't want to be like these people who was reading up above where it says, for all these things they should not turn away from their wickedness. Behold, verse 19, 2nd Ezra 16 and 19. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges and amendments, but all these things shall they not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. All right, so basically, you know what I'm saying, we don't want to be in that la la land sense. We don't want to be asleep to the things that's going on around us. We want to be mindful and be watching, with a open eye. Watch ye therefore, so we don't get caught like the thief in the night, because that's basically what this is talking about. You're gonna get caught like a thief in the night because shit gonna be kind of rough around you, but you ain't gonna notice it. But then shit gonna get so-called even better for those so-called people that's living in that damn blinded ass life, because like what, the trade war is going on, right? They don't even know about the trade war, but all of a sudden for them, meat finna get like extremely cheap. They gonna be like, hey, party over here, and they ain't gonna know nothing about why the meat's so cheap. They ain't gonna see the damn impending doom that's coming around the damn corner, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions. Stay strong. Shalom.